Hey, welcome World Entertainment, and well. Looks like the cope session for Buffy the Vampire Slayer's cancelled reboot, relaunch, continuation, whatever you want to call it, is in full swing because Sarah Michelle Gellar is now pushing back against the leaked script. If you have seen it, which I'm sure you have by now, the script for that pilot episode leaked, and it is just over the top woke gobbledygook garbage. It included feminism talk, all this type of crap. There's even discussions about wearing masks, as in your face masks over like COVID and stuff, and oh good god. Now Sarah Michelle Gellar kind of contradicts herself with what she says in this from what we've heard. We seemingly know the reason the show was cancelled, and it ain't the reason that she's giving, but it's also not the reason everyone else is trying to give, which is this script. It in fact was Chloe Zhao. She is the reason it got cancelled. We'll get to that. But what's Sarah Michelle Gellar pushing back against now? Well, she's saying the script, the leaked script, was not their version, and that's not what they were making, even though that is seemingly exactly what they made. But she also says something that kind of goes against what we've heard. So let's look at this. So Sarah Michelle Gellar is now responding to the Buffy Reboot Leak controversy, pushing back on the script pages making the rounds online and saying fans are not seeing the real version of what Hulu was developing. Okay, now here's the other thing to keep in mind. She said directly that the reason the show got cancelled is because one executive at Hulu said no to the show because she said he never liked Buffy, the original series, or anything. We've issues with that as well, which we will swing back to. So speaking on Cersei's, however you pronounce it, XM's Page 6 radio while promoting Ready or Not 2 Here I Come, Gellar said she hopes the scrapped Buffy pilot does not leak in full because people will judge something that was never finished. She also said the script version circulating online is not actually correct. Okay, so there's a few things to kind of unpack there. Number one is she's saying she hopes the pilot doesn't leak. Well, how could it leak? If it leaks, it means someone internally leaked it. But she's saying she hopes it doesn't leak in full because it's not finished. Well, that's quite contradictory for the fact that we were told that it was finished. How else would they scrap it? That's the thing. You're not scrapping and pulling the plug on something half made, especially when it's a pilot. And how long was it taking you to make this pilot? This show was announced like a year ago. So how is it taking you that long to do it? She's saying as well, oh, the script that leaked, that's not actually correct. That's not our script. So one of two things has to be true then. Either the script is true or the episode is god-awful and half finished. Which one is it? It has to be one of them. It can't be both. So the only true way we would know is, okay, Sarah, you're saying that's not correct. Release the script you have then. Surely she has the script. Release the actual script for what the show would have been. Let us see what it actually would have been. Or release this episode and let's see if it was actually finished. So which one is it? So Gellar said the leaked material should not be treated as a finished representation of the reboot, stressing that pilots are meant to evolve and change before a series moves forward. Yes, you are correct. The problem is the pilot doesn't change. What comes after the pilot changes. That's why you have so many shows where they'll be in a living room or a kitchen or something, and the walls might be kind of a grey colour or something, or the sink is over on the left side, but when you see episode 2 it's on the right side and the walls are blue and stuff like that. That's where the changes happen. That happens all the time because it changes from the pilot. The pilot establishes what you're making, then everything else after that, once it gets picked up, is where the changes happen. So her saying that the pilots are meant to evolve and change before a series moves forward, No, that's not what happens. The pilot is meant to show you and showcase what they can do. Then it evolves after that. So what she said here is, I actually hope it doesn't, because then everyone's going to have an opinion on this and that. And pilots are not finished. It wasn't done, right? It's not like we did a season and finished it and then they shelved it. It's not like when they made the Batgirl movie and didn't release it. That movie was finished. No, it wasn't actually. You make a pilot, and I want to clarify this. We made a pilot first instead of a full season on purpose, because there's some new characters and you want to see how it goes. There are things you learn from it, and there are things you fix. Usually, the first version of a pilot doesn't air. It's a learning tool. The original Buffy pilot had nothing to do with the show. It was a different Willow. It was a very different show, but those are learning tools, and that's what a pilot is. Okay, again, there's a lot to pack in there. But she also says, Gellar's point is that the Buffy reboot was still in that early shaping stage, and she does not want fans judging the project based on unfinished material or leaked pages that she says do not reflect the real version, where she said, I've seen a version of this script out there. It's not actually correct. That stuff is really unfortunate, and I ask fans, if you see scripts, if you see it leaked, don't watch it because you're not getting our vision and all of that. What do you mean don't watch it? You don't watch a script, you read a script. Let's go back to her saying the pilots, that they made the pilot on purpose to learn. No, you didn't specifically go, let's just make a pilot. Hulu/Disney said, we will commission a pilot episode. They didn't commit to a full season. That's why you were making a pilot. It wasn't that you chose, hey, let's do a pilot. You wanted the full series. Now, here's the thing. Disney and Hulu wanted to actually go forward with the full series. But Chloe Zhao is the reason this thing has not moved forward and has been shelved, because she was dicking them around. She wanted to direct every episode, apparently. They didn't want that. They wanted her there for a few episodes, but they also wanted to mix and match people to direct it. She wanted all of the episodes. But every time, apparently, they were moving forward to try and say, okay, let's get this done, she was like dicking about and saying, oh, I'm not available for this day. But personally, I think she was angling for more money. I think she was hoping that they would just get sick of waiting around and go, just say we'll give her an extra 10 million or something, just get in and make this bloody thing. And that didn't happen. Chloe Zhao is the reason this is being axed. This brings us back to Sarah Michelle Gellar saying that this one executive who never liked Buffy in the first place is the reason the show was cancelled. Okay, then how was it greenlit? How did you get the pilot greenlit? If this one guy out of a board of executives was able to say no to the series actually moving forward, how did you get the pilot greenlit in the first place? He would have to have been on board with that, or he was overruled, which means he would have been overruled for this. So that's bullshit. They're doing everything to try and protect Chloe Zhao. But this idea that pilots don't air, yes, they do air. Half the shows you watch are Star Trek. The original series Star Trek didn't just have one, had two pilots. And there's lots of shows that have two pilots. Now, originally, the first original pilot did not air. That's correct. That did not air. But that's because they made it, handed it to the executives, and they went, we don't like who's playing Pike, we don't like this, we don't like that, change it. And they went back and they brought in Shatner and stuff and brought it back, and they went, we like this, and gave them the go ahead. And of course, Gene Roddenberry very cleverly worked a way to get the original pilot aired, which was to chop it up and put it into another episode. X-Files had a pilot episode. The very first episode of X-Files is a pilot episode. That wasn't an order of a series from start to finish. Very first episode of X-Files that you watch, where Scully walks into the office, looks at Mulder, and I'm Dana Scully, and he's saying, I believe you were sent here to spy on me. That was the pilot episode. So you are seeing lots of pilot episodes. The very first episode, Counter Farpoint with TNG, pilot episode. Pilot episodes do air. It's the case of they are used to convince the studio that this is worth continuing with. You show an audience and the audience goes, we like this, we want more of it. That's how it happens. This idea that, the pilot changes and does this and, evolves and stuff. No. So she's coping there and she's trying to misdirect people by saying that, because that is not the case at all. So once again, that brings us to the thing of your episode. You're saying it's not finished. It wasn't finished. Yet everything was indicated to everybody that it was finished, and that it was finished months ago. So which is it? Is it actually finished, or is it not finished? If it's not finished, what was taking you so long to finish a pilot episode? This script. She's not saying the script isn't real. She's just saying it's not our version. So what is your version? If this isn't your version, you're saying don't watch it and take it down, blah, blah, blah. Surely then you could simply release some of your script and prove to us that this wasn't the actual version. Either way, they're doing everything to cover for Chloe Zhao, who is the real reason this show has not been moving forward. And she's the reason it's been cancelled. And clearly, they don't want to go, well, we brought her in for a second time and something's not working, that we've pulled the plug. They clearly don't want to say, we've used an Oscar winner and another Oscar nominee for the second time on something that's not working. They clearly are trying to protect her. So it's all BS, all this cope off. One executive said no, even though he greenlit it clearly. The whole idea that the episode was finished, but now she's saying it's not finished. The idea that it's a pilot, we chose to do a pilot, but the pilot's not meant to be seen and meant to evolve. That's all BS. So realistically, we know the real reason this thing was cancelled, and they are coping hard. But let me know what you guys think of all of this, and do you agree maybe she should just release her script, or do you think maybe they should just release the episode finished or not, just to tell people this is what it would have been? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.